the NewsChannel 5 network. This is the plus side of Nashville.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm Tawanda Cohen. When someone is released from prison, often they're released into a world of unknowns. How will I be accepted? Will I find a place to live or a job? Project Return is an organization that is there to try and help meet the needs of those who were recently released from incarceration. We'll learn more and talk about that organization's mission and services in just a bit. But first, we're going to find out more about an animal sanctuary that is rescuing abused and neglected animals and at-risk and special needs children at the same time. My guests are Ellie, who's the founder of the General Barn, and Jay Weiner, who's the co-founder of the General Barn Foundation. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
Oh, I love animals, and I always love hearing people who love them and want to help them. So the General Barn was founded in California several years ago. It's a national nonprofit. You've got support of Ellen DeGeneres, Hilary Swank, Channing Tatum, so many celebs. But for those people who may not be familiar with the organization, tell us about the General Barn, Ellie.
Yeah, so at the General Barn we do two different things. One is we rescue animals from severe abuse and neglect that have nowhere else to go because they're too old, too sick, too lame, or too scared to be adopted. We bring them in, we rehabilitate them, and give them sanctuary for the rest of their lives if they're not adoptable. And then once they're healthy and happy and ready, we partner with them to heal people with the same stories of abuse and neglect. So we work with at-risk, inner-city, and special needs children and adults who come in, and through the interaction with the animals and the stories of the animals, they learn kindness, compassion, and confidence, and really find themselves in the barnyard.
I understand there's a special animal whose legacy that you're hoping to carry on through this organization. Dudley, tell us about Dudley.
Yeah, we opened a General Barn in Tennessee because of a cow named Dudley who was rescued here in Nashville. He was missing a foot. He was hobbling around, very skinny and in pain. Nobody here in Tennessee was able to help him. He was going to go to slaughter, and then a woman called us and said, will you help him? So we came to Nashville. We brought him to UT Knoxville for amputations and surgeries to prepare him for a prosthesis, and then we were able to build him a prosthetic foot. And he, in his time with us, has helped people that had amputations, foster children, children from the Children's Hospital. Really, anyone that was going through emotional and physical challenges of their own came to see and witness and feel the joy and the inspiration from Dudley, because he had gone through so much, but he had so much joy and so much love of life that he inspired all of us.
Oh, absolutely. So we're so glad that you've been in Knoxville, but you were leasing a property there, but you've bought property here in Nashville, and now you're needing funding. Right, Jay, to sort of help get this place up and running?
We're really excited because the first phase was to raise the funds to purchase the property, which we were successful in doing. And obviously, thank you to the community, because the community really showed up and let us know that they wanted us here by their support. Now we're in the process of building and getting things ready for the animals, and painting and designing and doing things the way that they need to be done to be able to accept the children in and the public who will be able to come out on Sundays. So yes, we're looking for that additional support. There's ways for lots of people to get involved and come volunteer and come help out, and they can name buildings and they can name pastures and things like that. It's so much fun.
So you said the public will be able to come out on Sundays?
Yes.
Really? Will we be able to interact with the animals? And that's awesome.
Yeah, we'll be open starting August 26th, and moving forward we'll be open every Sunday from 10 to 2, and people will get to come out and hug cows, cuddle turkeys, give pigs tummy rubs, hear their stories of resilience, and fall in love with animals and nature like they've never done before.
Wow. Ellie, how do you come to know about these animals? Do vets refer them to you? How do you get into the rescuing of some of these animals that need your help?
We work with the police department, animal control, and other rescues, and people call us all the time. Okay. When there's a specific animal that wants to live, that we can fix, but nobody else really will take the time because they're not really adoptable, that's when we come in.
Oh, that's wonderful. And you work with dogs on up all animals.
Yes, we are home to horses, cows, pigs, sheep, goats, chickens, turkeys, peacocks, llamas, dogs, cats, and we even have a parrot in California.
She almost got that out in one breath.
Oh my goodness, she certainly did. My goodness, that is
the
wonderful.
distinction is really important though, because in Tennessee we're the only farmed animal sanctuary, and so that's something that we're really excited to see the support coming in for. But one of the things to designate is that we're not a rescue. We rescue animals, but we're rescuing animals that are in the worst case scenario, and we're rehabilitating them, and they're staying with us for the rest of their lives, and they really know what they're doing, by the way. It's really neat to watch them work with a child who's in trauma or having a rough way in their life. They know, and we kind of try and step out of the way. We tell them their story and where they came from. We try and give them the idea of how they're going to connect through their stories. And then we kind of back off a little bit and let the animal do the work. It's really neat to watch.
Well, I'd love to hear more about how that works. How are, I should say, the children able to interact with these animals?
Yeah, it's an incredible thing. So for starters, we connect with agencies, whether it's a drug and alcohol rehab center, a foster home, an inner city school, and we ask them to identify the part of their population that will not respond to traditional therapy, because some people are too angry and too shut down to want to talk about their stories and be vulnerable in their feelings. And so traditional talk therapy kind of comes to a standstill when somebody doesn't want to talk. So we ask the agencies to bring that part of the population to our program. And instead of getting them to talk, we just tell the animals stories. But when we're telling the animals stories, we're really telling their story. And in a very short time, they're going, yeah, I know what that feels like. I've been through that too. And now they're talking. And then therapists can use that as a starting point to then take them back to the therapy session. And now they have something to really talk about and a place to start in their real healing and therapy. So it's very, very beneficial. And the kids can come out, and a lot of kids, especially from the inner city, are really thinking that they're going to begin and end their life there, that there's no hope. And when somebody feels hopeless, that's really when they get stuck. So what we really do for kids is bringing them out to make them see that the world is full of infinite possibilities, that it's full of color and song and dance, and you can be anyone you want to be, and you can do anything you want to do. And that taste of a different environment from where they came from gives them the idea that there is hope. And once you start with hope, the sky's the limit. And then through interacting with animals, they get to practice motor skills, vocal skills, confidence, gentleness, tolerance. They get to learn that even though we're so different inside ourselves, we're all the same. And we get to really cultivate a gentleness, a hope, a self-awareness, and a hope for the future that the kids didn't come in with.
Right. Oh my goodness. That you said gave me chills. One of the things I have to think too, Ellie, is they see that you don't have to be perfect. That a lot of these animals may have an issue, like Dudley was missing a hoof, but you still can love them, and they still have the will to live and live a happy and normal life like everybody else. So I imagine you've got nothing but great response from these children.
Yeah, exactly right, because every single one of our animals were unwanted. Yeah. They were different and they were unwanted. But the joy they have, the friends and family they make, the love that they receive. The kids can know no matter what they're going through, and no matter who's judged them or what they've been through, they can come and find a starting point at the Gentle Barn where they're received and loved and accepted, and we see them as perfect. Yes. And through our program, they get to see themselves as perfect.
Absolutely.
You know, I think you hit it though. I think you hit it on the head, and you kind of touched on it in what you just said, is that the animals are non-judgmental.
Yes.
You know, and so you can look different, you can be missing a limb, you can have a burn on your face, you can have no hair, you can, whatever it is, and the animal's just gonna love you for who you are, not what you look like. And I think that that's the thing that separates our program from anything else out there. I think is that. I think it's that non-judgmental portion of it.
I think you're exactly right, Jay.
It doesn't matter who you are or what you look like.
Not at all. You've got an event coming up where folks can help the General Barn. If people are looking for ways, how can I help this wonderful organization? Tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I think it's also coming out and celebrating with us, because this will be our grand opening. And we're very excited about that. And you know, it's on August 26th, and it's on a Sunday, and it'll be a very special day.
Where are you all going to be located?
So the property's located in Christiana, which is just near Murfreesboro.
Right.
And we just love it there. It is the most beautiful place. I mean, it really
lots
is.
of roaming acres.
It is. We have 38 acres, and we have a beautiful, almost an acre pond on the property. There's 2 barns and an event center and a healing center and facilities for our staff to be able to, you know, be there and take care of the animals. It's just pastures and beautiful, and it's going to be wonderful. We have hay rides, and we've got food, and we've got an amazing ability for people to come out and just enjoy themselves.
And this is going to be August the 26th.
That's right. And something very connected to Nashville is that it was very important to us that it was already part of our program that we had music, but now that this is really happening in the Nashville community, music is a very important part to what we're doing. And so it's also very healing, as everybody knows. And so it's a very important part of our opening, our grand opening, but it's also very important to say that it's going to continue as part of our program, is you know, adding music therapy into our work.
So for people to get tickets and more information, they can go to generalbarn.org.
That is wonderful. And
come join us for our grand opening or any Sunday thereafter. We also do private tours during the week. We do school field trips, and of course we host the groups of at-risk inner city and special needs children. So we're really hoping the community will take advantage of us being here and come out and support us and love us and just fall in love all over again.
I hope so as well.
We're working hard to connect ourselves to the programs that are in the community as well, but it's important that if they're listening that they get out to us too. Approach us and want to learn more about bringing their children out, or their adult groups. We work with senior citizens. We work with, pretty much anyone who's in need.
Well, welcome to the community.
Thank you.
You're a wonderful asset, and thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being here as well. And when we come back, we'll hear how one organization is creating new beginnings for those who are recently released from prison. Stay with us.